What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Chris, man. We are here at the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. It is Monday, December 9th, 2024. My name is Chris Drummond. I am a freelance sports reporter here based in Minnesota. I am proprietor of this podcast, Work Hard, Play Harder, where I bring individuals on to talk about their why and to get to know them outside of their occupation. I got a special guest that's going to be coming on with me today. Her name is Tori Peot. She has a podcast about the Green Bay Packers. So she is into sports podcasting. So we're definitely going to talk to her about her why of being into sports podcasting as well. She went to Missouri Valley College, played softball there, then went to Concordia College as well to get her degree, and now she's in physical therapy. So once again, we're going to talk to her about her why of doing all those things and get to know her a little bit. So without any further ado, I introduce you the wonderful, talented, and the beautiful Tori.
Can you see me?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't know why. It
Uh,
was like just working.
is it if you hit the button at the bottom, there should be a slash over the camera. You just tap the camera.
Okay.
There you
Oh, there we
go.
go. Okay.
All right. How we doing?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, doing good. You look absolutely lovely today. I just want to
Thank
start off by
you.
saying that you are very welcome, very welcome, and thank you for allocating your time to me, coming on my podcast. Work hard, play harder. How's your week starting off so far?
It's Monday. For me, I'm like always busy, so you
Anytime
know.
somebody starts off by saying it's Monday, it's already probably gonna be a long ass week.
Oh yeah, no,
That's
like I'm
what it is.
already due for it for sure.
I totally understand that. I understand that. I want to reiterate to you, Tori, why I wanted to have you on here. I know that you do a podcast about the Green Bay Packers, and I love talking to different people with different podcasts of their why they started it, what they talk about, how long they go, different things of that nature. I'm a journalist, a sports journalist based out of Minnesota. Here, I know that you grew up in Prior Lake,
I sure
Minnesota,
did.
if I'm not mistaken. So I definitely know about Prior Lake for sure. I also know that you played softball in college as well, and stuff like that. So you're a sports person. I'm a sports person. So I always love hearing about people's stories and people why they do what they do. And it's just fascinating to hear. So I'm very lucky and blessed that you said yes to coming on to my podcast.
Yeah. Um Gosh, yeah, no, yeah, the sports is like definitely like the biggest thing for me for like both of like my podcasts I do and then like my actual profession. I'm like a sports physical therapist assistant.
Yeah.
So big sports fan, always have been. Did you play sports growing up as well?
I did. I played sports in high school, played basketball, football, baseball, the common sports. I
Oh
tried
yeah.
tennis. I tried tennis, but I was awful in that. And then
Tennis is terrible. I can't get
I'm
the hang
awful
of
with
it. Like I've tried
it.
it. I feel like I like touched the like ball barely and it's like gone.
It is. It's a lot of running around too, and even if when you're doing doubles, it's like, oh my gosh, like what's going on? Like I'm thinking it's out, and it's not really out, and I'm like, okay, whatever. So I gave up on tennis. I did try golf too, but I grew up in California, so
We're in
when I
California.
go,
I was born in California.
yeah, San Diego,
San Diego,
California.
okay. I was
Yeah.
Central Valley, way less fun.
I'm pretty familiar with that, and I totally understand why you said that. But listen, all parts of California is absolutely beautiful in my mind. So you can't go wrong with California as far as the weather goes and growing up there. You just can't go wrong. So yeah, without any further ado, Tori, I'm gonna get into it. I want to ask you this first question, which is the same question that I have with every single guest I have on my podcast, and that is, what is your why? What is your why of doing what you do? Did you have any role models, any inspirations, maybe growing up that you wanted to kind of be like or imitate like your career after? But what is your why of doing sports podcasting, but also getting into sports physical therapy as well?
Um, I guess like starting with the PTA answer because that one's easier for me because I've been asked that one like a ton.
Sure.
Um, Sports for sure. I was very injury prone growing up, and like the way we grew up. I didn't grow up in like a great situation by any means. We were like broke for like a lot of it, did not have health insurance. So I went through like so many injuries and like didn't have any kind of like form of rehab. And
Mhm.
so then and then when I did get injured, because when I was in college, I had a red shirt because um I actually got hit by a car. And so
Oh,
like
wow.
like my knee was injured. I had to get surgery or whatever. This was like the first time I ever had like physical therapy, and that was with my trainers in college.
Yeah.
And like honestly, I feel like I didn't feel like I had the greatest rehab and stuff. And so like I definitely want to make sure all my people get like the best care that they can. We
Sure.
all have access to it as, best as possible, which is, I mean, I can only control so much of that, but yeah,
Mhm.
no, definitely. That's my why for that. I love watching like my high school kids sign for colleges. Like that's so fun. And
Yeah,
then
absolutely.
like we go to like their games and stuff. Like we'll go like watch them in action. And then like every time we watch them, it's like, okay, like this is why. Like this is what we want them all to be able to do. Like I
Love
work
it.
with all kinds of people, but like I love my high schoolers. Like they're just so fun.
Absolutely.
Um as for the podcast, so originally it was 3 of us. There's myself and then Haley and Emily. And Haley actually was already kind of in with Game On Wisconsin, and like they wanted to start a like girls podcast. Like they wanted to get more of like the women's side of things and all that. And like there weren't like a ton of people on doing like an all female podcast for like our team. And so yeah, Emma or not Emily, Haley reached out to me actually after because we found out like we had no idea, but like we were neighbors.
Wow.
And
Okay.
like we found out like on Twitter, like we were just like messaging because like someone tagged both of us in Packers fans from like KC and like tagged our names. And
Sure.
so like I messaged her on the side with like the other girl that was tagged. And I was like, so like where in Kansas City are you from? Like everyone says they're from Kansas City, but like it's not Kansas City.
Right.
And
Right.
we found out we're in the same town, and like the town wasn't like super large. It's like just outside of Kansas City.
Mhm.
And so I was like, "Well, I'm at like this apartment complex. Where are you?" And she's like, "I'm in that apartment complex." And then we found out like she literally lived right behind me, which was like super weird, super cool though. Like I definitely still talk to Haley even though she's not on the podcast.
Sure.
Um but yeah, she kind of like got it started with both of us. And like that's our biggest thing is just like it's been like even like our guests that we've had on are females and stuff. Like it's like the moms, the girlfriends, the wives, the like, sisters of like players if like we talk to anyone, which is like super fun. Cause then we get like the backside story to like to hear about them behind closed doors.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, no, like it's kind of cool just to like finally I guess, have a like, voice with, like, football. I've always been a huge football fan, like, people have always known me growing up, like, she's the one that knows football and stuff, and so, like,
Yeah.
it's kinda fun, it's nice, I don't mind it.
I love it. I love it. I now we'll get into some of the podcast details as far as what you talk about, how often you do it and stuff like that in a little bit. But first, I wanna know this bonus question. You said you got hit by a car. Were you stationary? Were you walking? Like were you
I
running? Like
was I wish it was cool. No, I was it was midterm week, and, like, my dorm was it's a dorm, but it's, like, also an apartment. It's
yeah,
confusing, but,
right,
so, like, there's only the front parking, like, parallel parking into spots, and so, like, I was gonna walk to the library to go, like, meet one of my teammates 'cause we had to study for this class we had, and I, like, step out in front of the cars, look both ways. I see the car, so I, like, step back, and I'm, like, between these 2 cars, and
right.
then the guy coming this way, I actually knew him, so I was, like, watching his truck as, like, he went by, but then when I got to here, the guy coming the other direction hit the parked car next to me. That car hit me, hit another car. I
Oh
fly
my
in the
God.
street. Yeah, I was just like walking and waiting to cross the street, but I got out of
Wow.
midterms, so like that was kind of cool.
I bet you did. I would have to slap the teacher hard if he didn't, if he or she didn't let you out of midterms after that happened. That's for
I
real.
know, yeah, no, especially the teacher I was going to the class like to study for is like, just so you know, like it was your class.
Right, right. That's crazy. Well, glad to see you still here. That's
Yeah.
for sure. That's awesome. I did a little bit of research and background, like I normally do with all my guests. I know you went to Missouri Valley College, and you played softball. If I'm just looking at you, I would say that you probably played either catcher or maybe first base. I'm just guessing. I'm throwing it out there because I'm thinking.
Yeah, no.
I'm thinking that might have been a position. I've covered softball, so I can kind of see that you definitely got some height to you. So that's why I like to say, maybe catcher or first baseman, like power to you as well. I would think that's where I would put you if I was a coach. But I also saw that you not only went to MVC, but you also went to Concordia College when you moved up there to Kansas, if I'm not mistaken. Talk to
Yeah,
me
I that's where I got I went to Concord, it's where I got my PTA degree and stuff, yeah.
talk to me about going to MVC first, and then talk to me about going to the college in Kansas. Were you persuaded to go to any other schools beside those two?
So like when it came to like the first school, which is like the biggest persuasion was that they gave me money. Like they helped pay for some of my college. I got a
That definitely
scholarship.
helps. That definitely
Yeah,
helps.
no, it definitely helps. And
Mhm.
so, because otherwise it's such a tiny, tiny school. I would have
Yeah.
never heard of it otherwise.
Right.
And
Right.
stuff, which I kinda found, like, it was kinda nice that it was, like, a little smaller school. It was literally smaller than my high school, like, it's so small, that
Mm.
NAIA, but no, I went there, the very hard part about it is, like, funny enough, is Missouri Valley's college's, like, mascot were the Vikings, and I'm obviously a Packers fan. Living in Minnesota, I hate the Vikings, like, so much.
Wow.
Like, I hate is such a strong word, and, like, I
It
will use
is.
it, and I'll
Boy,
use
that is very strong. Wow. Hate.
I I hate okay,
Damn.
like,
Okay.
I know, it sounds so bad, but, like, I have, like, reason, I feel.
Please, please share. Inquiring minds want to know. We want to know
Okay.
where is this hate coming from.
Okay, so one, I feel like if you grow up, I mean, anyways, in the town that like is of the rival, like you're gonna like grow to hate kind of that. I have a few instances, and they're not great. Um, one is when I was, I think, a first grader, and this is gonna be such like a silly sounding story. But,
Okay.
I'm a
I'm
first
intrigued.
grader. Yeah, it's, like, kind of not great, but no, so I'm a first grader. It is hat day. I get to, like, pick a hat. I'm, like, so excited. This is, like, my first, like, hat day in school, and so I come home, I tell my parents. My dad was nice enough. He's like, "I'll let you go to the Mall of America. Let's go pick out a hat and stuff," and he let me pick out any hat I wanted, and I saw this, like, Green Bay hat, and it, like, lit up because like, those were really popular at the time when I was in 1st grade
Right.
and stuff, and I was like, "I want that hat," and I was so excited. Just a baseball cap with a Packers G, and then when I was riding like, going home
Mhm.
is when it happened, and I'm, like, still wearing my hat all day long, and, like, I was sat in the back of the bus because that's where the cool kids sit, and, like, I'm back there, and this, like, 3rd grade girl and these, like, 5th grade boys are back there, and they're like, "Take your
Yeah.
hat off," and stuff, like, "No, we're Vikings fans, like, take your hat off," and I was like, "No, I like my hat." I was, like, a really, like I wasn't, like, dumb, book dumb, but I was, like, very pushover as a kid,
Oh.
and so
Okay.
I was just like, "No, I like my hat," and they're like, "No," and they actually started, like, beating me in the back.
What?
They took, like,
Oh wow.
necklaces, and they're, like, whipping me with it, and they're, like, hitting me to take my hat off, and, like, I get off the bus. I was, like, silent through this whole thing, and the funniest part of, like, this whole story is when I get off the bus, my mom clearly asked, like, "What happened?" I'm, like, crying.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Well, why didn't you yell for help?" And I'm like, "Because, Mom, there's no yelling on the bus." And so I didn't wanna get
Tori,
in
no, you didn't.
trouble.
No, you did not say that.
So I didn't wanna get in trouble. So I just let these people, like,
Oh
beat
my
me.
God. Wow. You took an ass whooping because you wanted to not get in trouble with the bus driver.
Which I was like, so I feel like on brand. I'm like, "I'll just stay quiet, like, I'll avoid my ass whooping, it's okay."
Story. Well, kudos to you for taking it and receiving it. If it was me, that bus driver would have pulled over because I
Oh,
wouldn't been
yeah,
yelling.
no, my little sister was, like, the complete opposite. She was like, "I'll fight you back, and I won't stop."
Oh, you ain't lying. You gonna hit me, but I'm gonna give you some licks. That's for sure. There's no question about it.
No,
That's
what's, like,
okay.
hilarious is, like, how people know me now. Like, my mom's told, like, my Kansas City friends this story, and they're like, "No." 'Cause, like, that's just not how I am now. Like, I don't like to take shit, and I'm like, "If you're gonna come at me, like, you better come at me." And so, it's just,
Well,
like, it's just kind of, like, funny now because 'cause they're like, "At what point did you, like, change, like, turn into this person?" And I was like, "I don't know, 4th grade, I joined basketball, and I was pretty aggressive then."
that's the sport to really, build that aggression. That was my favorite sport that I played in high school, which was basketball, and I was aggressive as well, taking it to the paint. I love getting into the paint. I love contact. Although I didn't like football as much because
That's interesting, that's,
football,
like, all contact.
it is, but they can blindside you in football. In
That's
football,
fair.
you get hit, and you only have that vision of the helmet.
Yeah,
So if you don't
that's
see
fair.
somebody coming in there and you get hit real good, which there was a couple times where I got rocked, and I was like, "Ooh!" They was like, "What day is it?" I
I
said,
don't
"This
know
is
if you've seen, like, women's basketball, but it is so aggressive. It's crazy.
yeah, varsity, yes. I have seen like B squad and A squad. Oh, that was tough to watch. I'm not gonna lie about that.
No, and that's totally fair, like, it is tough to watch.
Tough to watch. But yes, so I've been a journalist for the past 6, 7 years. I'm now freelance, but I was covering in publications in Atlanta, Georgia, and then when I moved up here to Minnesota, which was 22, I started covering it full time for about 2.5 years, and now I'm freelance because I want to do more than just the high school and the college. So I want to do pros as well. So I'm actually going to be covering some of the PWHL games, and I'm actually going to be
Okay.
covering some Minnesota Lynx games and just for more professional sports as well as college and high school whenever they need me to do that as well. So,
Do you have a
um,
favorite sport to, like, follow?
oh yeah, basketball. Basketball's one, football's two, baseball's three. For me, I love basketball. Love the Lakers as I grew up in California.
They're from
I love,
Minnesota, you know.
they are. Then
They sure
a lot of
are.
people, don't know that, but they're actually, if I'm not mistaken, in St. Paul is where the lake or no Minneapolis
It's
Lakers.
they're the Twin Cities, they're one and the same.
Right, they're one and the same. Yes, I remember the Lakers all the way back when they had George Mikan, which is
So
I'm a huge historian of the game. So
So the
back in
Lakers are actually like that's what my high school was. We were the Prior Lake Lakers.
yep,
And that's like one of the reasons I like learned it like so early. I feel like that like the Lakers were from Minnesota because everyone would be like, why are they called the Lakers? And everyone would they would ask us. I was like their insult to us. It's like, what's a Laker?
right,
And stuff.
right.
And so yeah, like that's how I figured it out. I was like, oh, they have the same mascot as us.
Well, I would think Minnesota is the land of 1,000 lakes, so it's not like it shouldn't be like a foreign name when a Minnesota team is named the Lakers
Yeah,
because
no.
of that. But I mean, I do know about the Prior Lake Lakers. Had the privilege of not covering them, but actually seeing them in one of the state tournaments, the section tournament games, competing. So when I was doing that, definitely had a chance to watch them play for sure. I want to ask you some favorite questions, Tori, and you just give me the 411 off the rip based upon these favorite questions. Are you with me?
I'm with you.
Okay, let's rock with it. Favorite meal you like to cook?
Oh my god, I like to cook. Um I'm a big pasta fan. I make, like, real good pastas. It's so hard because I just like cooking everything. Like, I'll try
Um,
so many different things. I make, like, some killer enchiladas.
ooh,
Um,
okay. Okay.
I'd be mixing it up, like, honestly. I'll try
So
anything.
So Tori, I don't know if you mind having like new friends, but my name is Chris. I just want to introduce myself to you, just in case. I am a traveler, and Kansas City is one of my favorite spots. I actually went there this past summer because I wanted to go to Kauffman Stadium. I
Yeah.
have my goal is to hit all 30 MLB team stadiums. That's my goal. So
How
I'm at
far are you now?
13.
That's not bad. I think I only got, like, 4, so
Yeah. I'm a huge traveler, so I love going to places. But they also have the Negro Leagues Museum there, the History Museum.
Yes.
So I wanted to go see that as well. So next time I'm in Kansas City, I'm gonna have to pull up. I'm just saying. I'm gonna have to say what's up to you. That's
I
for
be
sure.
I be chefing it up, like, let me tell you, like, I really can.
Say less. Say less on that. I'm with you on that. Okay. Favorite concert you've ever traveled to?
Um, so growing up, like, my dad was a big, like, rock guy, and so, like, I went to a lot of rock concerts. So I've seen, like, Metallica, like, a decent amount of times, and they're
Mm,
pretty fun ones. Like, there was one, and it was, like, 3 of my favorite bands at the time. It was, like, Metallica, Avenged Sevenfold, and Volbeat. That was, like, a great just, like, concert, and that was, like, the first technically, I guess, second. It was the second concert ever at US Bank Stadium that they had. Like, it was, like, right after they opened it.
right.
And then I saw another, like, rock concert with I Prevail that was, like, insanely fun outside. I
Yeah.
haven't, like, been to, like, a few in a while. Man, concerts are getting so expensive.
They
Like, I
are.
would
They
love to
are.
see so many different people, but I'm like, "Your prices are just way too high for me."
Yeah, they're inflated. No question about it. They're going up for sure. I love Metallica. I've been a Metallica fan since Enter the Sandman, and
I
if
love
you know,
that's, like, their closing song, and it's so good.
absolutely. And one of my favorite songs of theirs is "Nothing Else Matters." That's one of my favorite tracks, no question about it. Have you even heard the Miley Cyrus version with Metallica?
Oh my I have, I remember that,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, that one was pretty good too, and Elton John's on that one too as well. I couldn't believe it, but
Oh,
he's on there.
Miley's done I mean, just like like, with her dad probably growing up around him, like, she's around a lot of different music. I remember
Right.
one time when I was a kid, though,
Mhm.
she covered, was it Poison's, yeah, "Every Rose Has Its Thorn" or whatever,
Uh,
and she was, like, so convinced Miley Cyrus this was, like, a new song. I was like, "No."
no, it's not.
Like,
It's
no,
not.
I was like, "No, this is, like, a cover," and she's
Yep.
like, "No, like, this is, like, a new song." I was like, pretty sure
No,
it's not." Like
history says it's not. I definitely know what you're talking about. That's a pretty good song by Poison. Pretty good song. No, it's pretty cool. The one concert that definitely shocked me that I thought would be kind of terrible live was 21 Pilots. I thought they were really good live. Yeah, I definitely like them live for sure. I love all kinds of music, but 21 Pilots definitely had that. But yeah, I'm a huge Metallica fan, no question about it. Favorite place, Tori, that you've ever traveled to?
oh, easy, Banff, Canada.
Wow.
Gorgeous. It was, like, March, snow was, like, on the mountains everywhere,
Mm,
and I haven't been able to, like, travel out of country very much. Again, super expensive, didn't grow up really getting that luxury, and so my grandma, though, was, like, nice enough. She was like, "I wanna, like, give each of my grandkids" and there's just, like, 4 of us, I'm the oldest, she's like, "I want them to pick a trip, like, for me and them to go on." And so since I was like graduating college, this was like her time to give me the trip. And I was like, but I want to go like out of country. She's like, oh, I just like really don't want to. And so I convinced her Canada was like close enough. Um, and I asked like my friend from Canada in college, like, where should we go? That's where she said. It is
mhm,
just so pretty. Just the mountains are gorgeous. It's very nature based. We went on like a night hike and like I've never seen so many stars like in my life. I'm a big,
mhm.
like, mountain fan, like, I'll take mountains over beach any day.
I feel you on that. I do. I've never really been to the mountains. And that's crazy to even say because like California has Big
I was like,
Bear.
"You have options, they're right
Right,
there."
right. Yeah, yeah. I've just never been to the mountains before. but excuse me, but next month I'm actually gonna go skiing. So we're gonna go skiing here for the first time. So hopefully I can see some mountain-like type of stuff up there, and it'll be my first time ever in skis and
I was
near
like,
a
"You've
mountain.
never skied?"
I've never
Pizza,
skied.
pizza, slow down, french fries, speed up.
Got you. Okay, say less. Say less. Got
You're
you.
gonna wanna
Okay.
know those.
You right. You right. You right. I get the drift. But yeah, I definitely I love Canada because I've been to Toronto. Been to Toronto before. I want to do a cruise. So I'm trying to set up a second cruise for 2025 to where I can do a cruise in like November or December of next year, and I want to like go and tour like Canada, like all of Canada.
It's so good. I've also heard it's not Canada, but, like, the Alaskan cruises.
Yep,
I've
yep.
been told those are just, like, phenomenal by, like,
I
any
want to
single
do that.
person.
I want to do that. So that is on the bucket list for 2025. So I'm hoping I can be able to do that for sure. My favorite place though is Jamaica. So
I went
Jamaica,
there, yeah. That was the
yeah,
only other place out of country I've been is Jamaica. We
Jamaica.
went
Oh
for,
yeah.
like, our honeymoon and stuff,
Okay.
and it was nice, like, it was very, like, pretty and tropical. We were on, like, a resort, though, and, like,
Mhm.
I want, like, when I feel like when I travel, it's like, I wanna, like, go see, like, some of the culture more, like, I wanna see what it's actually like. The resort's,
Absolutely.
only so
Hmm.
telling, like, of travel. Oh, there I went.
Got you. You're good. You're good. No, I totally understand that. Being able to travel, I got my passport this year, so I want to be able to travel to different places to see different things. I'm a huge travel buff, so I want to be able to do that. Now we're sports people, Tori, so I'm going to ask you this next question. Favorite sport you like to watch on TV? Favorite sport you like to attend in person? They could be the same sport.
Favorite sport to watch on TV, 100% is football. It's, like, not even close.
Okay.
Attend in person, I like football games, but honestly, I don't know if I'm just, like, getting old, but, like, watching them from my TV is, like, so much better because I actually get to, like, watch it and see it. I feel like when I go to games, it's, like, a social aspect, and, like, that's fine, but, like, I'm, like, too into it to, like, have just a social aspect.
Yeah, me too.
So, to attend I love hockey game like, live hockey games, so much fun. I like baseball games in person, because, like, I feel like I can chill and talk while still, like, paying attention because it's slower, but I would much rather, like, play it and stuff. Like, I still be playing, like, softball all the time, so
Okay, I feel you on that. I'm definitely huge basketball and football. I would say football on TV. Going to a football stadium, unless I'm covering the game, they look all like midgets out there. If you sitting
they're
high,
so tiny,
yeah,
I can't follow that. I can't
yeah,
see if they're stepping out of bounds, if they have control of the ball when they
right.
catch, like
Right. It's just awful. And I've been to US Bank Stadium. I've been to other NFL stadiums as well. I would rather go see a basketball game or a hockey game here, no doubt. But basketball is definitely something. You see the Minnesota Timberwolves, man, that arena is lit. I
I
love
it's just so funny because, like, I grew up going to Timberwolves games, like, Kevin Garnett, Wally Szczerbiak, like,
it. Yep, yep. Oh yeah.
X and stuff, like, all those guys, way throwback, and that was, like, 2008 was, like, the last time I think, like, I feel like we were actually going to games when I was, like, little,
Right.
but it's just, like, so funny because, like, for me, the Timberwolves have also always been, like, so heartbreaking. And so, like, even though, like, we're doing well or, like, when we do well, I'm just, like, waiting for the heartbreak still, like the
I
playoffs
understand.
even last season.
Right, that was crazy, right? Making it all the way to the Western Conference Finals, them beating Denver, the defending champs at that time, 3 times on the road. That was crazy for them to win that game seven, how they won. But to even get to the Western Conference Finals, that's crazy. How did you feel
Yeah.
about them trading away Cat? Because I thought that trading away Cat to the Knicks to get Julius Randle, I was like, what the hell are they doing? Like, what type of trade is that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't follow it too much.
Mhm.
Like, I just follow like the big kind of like names within our stuff. Um, but like for me, like I do remember like a lot of people because like I talk with like my dad all the time and he still lives there, so we talk sports.
Mhm.
And yeah, like I remember he was saying like a lot of people are kind of like also feeling a little questionable about it in Minnesota. So I don't think you're alone by any means.
Yeah,
Have
yeah.
you been able to go to any of the games there now?
I've been to a couple games since I've been here. This is year three of me being here, so I've been to a couple games, playoff games, in particularly. I would say total of five in the past 3 years. Yeah,
That's
about
pretty
five.
good, honestly.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a huge a gamer like that. I've been to a couple Vikings games. Definitely been to a couple Twins games. So yeah, definitely. I love getting out the sports. Anytime I possibly can, I'll definitely do it for
Would
sure.
you rather watch though? Because I am curious because I am one way or the other. Would you rather watch
Um,
NBA or college basketball?
Oh, definitely NBA. Now, when it comes to football, I'd rather watch college football because I do like because college football is just so exciting. I love
Mhm.
it to the core. Now, I do love NFL too. Don't get me wrong, but college football, those bowl games, the playoff games coming up, this new format, I'm really excited about that because there's going to be a lot of great games within that playoff system of that format. So I'm just a huge sports buff in general. And we're definitely going to talk some Packers and about your team coming up a little bit for sure. Um, I wanna ask this last favorite question though, and that is favorite place to eat at. Like I said, I've been to Kansas City before. I plan on coming back definitely in the summertime so I can see the Royals for sure again because I love Bobby Witt Jr. He's one of my favorite players.
Yeah, he's fun to
Uh,
watch.
Tell me a place in Kansas City that I should go to get
Um,
some.
it depends because, like, a lot of people when they come here, they're always like, "I want barbecue," because like, that's what we're known for, which, yes, we have so many good barbecue places.
Yes,
So,
we
like, my
do.
favorite barbecue ones are I like Q39.
Yep, I had there
For, like,
last
my,
summer.
like, sit down, I like Q39. For,
Yep,
like, quick barbecue, Joe's. Like, I love Joe's.
yep, had that too.
That one's good. As for, like, if you wanna get away from just, like, barbecue, Nick and Jake's is so good. I
Okay.
It was back when we were living in Overland Park, and it's like Kansas City downtown. They're not out where I am right now, and I miss it. It's so good. And then the other one, it's like a chain, but I don't know if it's like just a Missouri chain or not. I have no idea because I didn't know about it until I moved here.
Mhm.
54th Street. It's like another just like bar food, but like better, like a more like upscale. Like Nick and Jake's and Q or not Q and 54th are both kind of that way. But like big fans, like honestly, big fans. Some of the best queso dip is honestly at 54th Street. And like I love me my queso dip. I love my Mexican restaurants, do not get me wrong. Like my whole mom's side's Hispanic. We love our queso there too,
Yeah, no doubt, no
but no,
doubt. I'm definitely
they call it gringo dip, which is like hilarious because like gringo white boy, like that's but
yeah,
it
yeah.
is so good.
Gringo dip. I like that. No, I love Mexican food. So I'm definitely gonna hit that spot up next time I'm there. I definitely know about the barbecue spots in Q's and Joe's.
Oh
Their
yeah.
their brisket is really damn good.
I
I
hear
have to
good
get
things
some.
about Slaps. I've yet to try it, but like every person I've heard said that's some of the best in Kansas City.
Okay, slaps. I'll also put that down. That's for sure. Okay, that's what's up. Now let's talk about your day to day, and let's also talk about your podcast. Obviously, you know when you're podcasting and you're working a full time job like you and I both are, you got to find time to be able to do these podcasts, be able to put them up, and be able to, just have these episodes and find topics to talk about. Me myself, I try to get on here with guests and talk about their why. That's my thing. You talk about Green Bay Packers in your podcast. Talk to me about how many times you normally film a podcast episode about Green Bay. What time does it go? What time does it start? What time does it end? What days do you normally do
Yeah, so we show it once a week. It's generally live, but this year Emily and I have had some conflicts on our day, which is Thursday. So we've done some pre-record, but we always show Thursdays, 7 p.m. Central. It's either on YouTube, our YouTube link through Game On Wisconsin. We tweet out a link on our page or whatever for the Green and Gorgeous podcast. But yeah, I mean, there is like work that goes into it, and I was like so unaware of that. I feel like
Hmm.
before, like I was like, oh, you just like hop on and we talk. But I'm like, no, I'm constantly like, I have my Green Bay Packers news is like, I'm subscribed to their Twitter. So, like, literally anything they tweet, I'm going to see. I follow
Hmm.
them on all their social media. I read their news reports every week. We have to make our layouts. I usually do it on Tuesdays because I don't work Tuesdays. And I make the whole layout, and then, yeah, I feel like I just always have to keep up, which is also kind of, like, really fun as I just keep up in sports news. So it's just, like, kind of, like, fun to do that. That's, like, the reason I feel like kept doing, like, fantasy football for a while is
Oh
I'm like,
yeah,
because before, as much as I love football, it was like, well, I just care about my team. Like, I'm just gonna watch the Packers. Like, I know there's other teams going around and, like, I keep up with our division, but, like, now it's like I'm constantly, like, knowing the players' names and stuff. I'm constantly knowing, like, where people are going, where they're moving. I'm, like, keeping up on all the news, who needs to win, who needs to lose. And it's like, I just feel more involved in it, even though it's like I have nothing to do with the NFL. But it just kind of like
right.
feels good, I guess, to like just stay up to date.
Absolutely. No, no question. And you guys start at 7. What time do you guys normally go to? Is it like an hour long podcast or 2 hours or how long is it?
It's anywhere from like 30 minutes to an hour.
I like it. I
I
like
would say
it.
like on average it's like 40, 45 probably.
Okay. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. That's pretty awesome. And you said your co-host name is Emily?
Emily, yes.
Got you. Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Shout out Emily. No, no questions about it. Let's get into some Packers talk. I mean, obviously, last Thursday or this past Thursday was a big game between two NFC North rivals, right? You're going up against the best team in Detroit that has only lost one game all season. The Packers fought really hard, but they lose on a last second field goal, pretty much of a walk off, 34-31.
Yeah.
Talk, give me some thoughts about that particular game before we kind of get into the overall season of the Packers. Because to me, the Packers spotted them some points early. They didn't look so good early. They came out, made some second half adjustments. They took the lead, but they couldn't hold on to it. So, talk to me
Yeah.
about what your thoughts and your perceptions of that game.
No, you definitely hit it on the nose. Early in the game, it just like didn't feel like I feel like we were still like trying to figure out what to do. It's like we spent all this time watching tape. We should know like what to expect. And they just did not look like they knew what they were doing in the beginning.
Mhm.
Looked like people were not on the same page. And honestly though, like that's kind of how I thought it was going to be. So me and Emily always joke that she is the big optimist and mystic person, and I am the pessimistic person on the show for the team. I like to say I'm a realist, but
That's okay. I love that. I love
but
it. Keep it 100.
I didn't think we were gonna win that game regardless. So like us losing by a field goal, I was like, I can live with it. I mean, it
Okay.
almost sucks more because it's like, well, damn, like we score at least like like get a touchdown the first, couple of drives, like then okay, like then we're hanging. It's not bad. But yeah, no, I thought that the Lions were gonna, like, take it away a little bit, so I was glad to see that we did make a lot of adjustments, and that's
Hmm.
something I feel like we've been seeing throughout this whole entire season, is LaFleur has done a good job of seeing, like, "Hey, first half, this isn't really working, let's do this."
Yeah.
Or, Jordan Love making like he makes good corrections, I feel like during the game for the most part. Like when he started in the season earlier, like over underthrowing people, now he's starting to lead them. I still feel like his deep ball needs a little bit of work because it gets a
Sure.
little hovery, a little wobbly.
Sure.
But no, I mean the Lions are gonna get the number 1 seed in the NFC. It's almost more frustrating that us and the Vikings are sitting at double-digit wins, and we have other teams at 500 that are, like, higher seeds because divisions, obviously. I get
Right.
it. It just
Right.
sucks.
Right.
But, um, out of all the teams in the NFC North, though, I hate the Lions the least. So, because like, obviously, as said, I hate the Vikings. And like the Bears are just like, we have to hate them. Like, we have to hate the Bears. They're a long-term rival. It's hard for me to hate them as much as my dad, because my dad
Right.
had to live through the years where, like, the Bears were good, and I was like, "The Bears have never been a problem, like, throughout my lifetime." So, like, I don't hate them without just, like, well, we hate them.
They only had that Super Bowl appearance in like '06.
Yeah,
That's the time.
I was, like, little, like, back then. I was born in '97, so, like, I don't even, like, remember much of it. Like, I wasn't, like,
And
talking smack like I would now.
absolutely, no
The
question.
the other difference is I feel like now that social media has become just, like, so relevant,
Hmm.
it's how people act, like, from other fan bases, and I'm sure Packers fans can be awful as well. I've seen some that are, not. I saw one guy who was trying to say that when Goff, like, fell the last, like, handoff, right?
Yep.
They're like,
Yep.
"Well, that's him like, his knee came in contact with the ground. If the quarterback does that, like, that's a down." I was like, "Not in that case. That's not the kind of knee they're talking, like, he
Yeah.
clearly just fell down. He wasn't touched. He's not down." But like
Right.
a
It's not
Packer
college. It's not
yeah,
college.
no, yeah, like a Packers fan trying to say that. I'm like, "You make us all sound stupid, like, when you talk like that. Like, if you don't know,
Right.
don't talk."
Right.
And stuff.
Absolutely.
Like, I didn't say a lot for a long time because I was still learning the game because I didn't get to grow up playing it like I wish I could have, but that wasn't really an option for me. My little sister luckily got to. She was the first, prior league female football player actually
Wow.
for
Okay.
and stuff. So, like, she played football growing up, and I remember, like, asking my parents, I was like, "How come she gets to?" Like, I didn't think we were allowed to. My mom's like, "You just didn't ask. Like, if you asked, you could have. I would have signed you up."
Wow. Okay. Well, shout out to your sister for playing. I didn't know that for
Oh,
playing
yeah,
football.
she
Wow.
3rd grade into high school, she played.
Okay, I love it. I love it. Yeah, that game was a very interesting game, Tori. It really was. I mean, obviously, we know in professional sports you have to be touched. It doesn't matter if your knee or anything hits the ground, unless you roll out of bounds. You got to be touched. That's the only way you're down. But we also the silver lining in that game was Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs had a 3 touchdown game. He played really well. He's been playing
Could
really
have
well
had
for the
4,
past.
could have had 4.
Good up. He's good up, right? He's been playing really well and now starting to get into a groove of
Yeah.
running that football and doing his thing. I do think it's good to see Watson. Watson had a nice game as well. If Watson and Reed can both get on the same page the same week, that would be amazing to see
Oh my
at
god,
the
wouldn't that
Packers
be
game.
something?
That would be the one thing that I don't like about the Packers, and you can attest to this, is Jordan Love does put the ball in harm's way a lot. He turns over the ball quite a bit.
It's
Um,
so, like, hard for
Talk
us
to
to
me about
see
that.
t it's so hard for us to see because, like, how Aaron Rodgers was and, like, his accuracy pre-Jets and
Right.
stuff, like,
Ooh.
he had like, we did not see interceptions, like, that was not something in our vocabulary, very minimal. So I think, like,
Mhm.
that's just also a shock, but and then, like, the last season, NFC Championship game against the 49ers, like, that last interception was just, like, not good. I feel like he does sometimes when he gets pressured too much, like, too often, he gets rushed, so he's making these, like, really bad decisions, and that's what's causing a lot of these turnovers and stuff. I'm not sure if he's just not seeing the field as a whole, or
Mhm.
reading the defense correctly in that aspect. Because, like, some of these, I'm like, "What are you doing?" Like, he's just, like, camping out waiting for you. Um, some have been off, like, deflections, which I've always said, I feel like a deflection into an interception should be, like, a half interception. Like, we get half sacks. Like, sometimes, like, this is not the quarterback's fault. Like,
Oh yeah, I
it's
agree with
off
that.
the receiver's hands into, no, that should be, like, an interception somehow on the receiver that, like, dropped that. I don't know.
That I understand. I do get that. I
But
definitely do.
that is not all of Jordan Love's. Like, no, he's making some bad decisions, and it is just, like, so hard because, like, half of me is like, well, he's still young to, like, the NFL game because he's not, like, young compared to our team because our team's so young. He just had to sit for a few years behind Rodgers, but, like, I just feel like his general NFL feel is still young.
Sure, because he hasn't played a lot.
No, he
Hasn't
hasn't
played a
played
lot.
a lot, and so, like, and this could be very controversial for, like, a lot of the Packers fans. I like Jordan Love. Everyone Like there is very much like loving him. And
Mhm.
I'm not saying like replace him, but I'm just like I'm not putting him, I feel, on the pedestal that a lot of people are
Mm.
because he still is making a lot of these like mistakes and stuff.
I think
And
the money is doing something to that because they paid him that large contract
I
of
was
200.
surprised he got that large of a contract. I didn't think he was deserving to be the highest paid quarterback, honestly. Like when he signed that, I was like, no, there are still others that should be higher than you. I think he's like a top 10 in our league, like right now, but like top 10 is not
Hmm.
number one.
Let me see, top 10. That might be a stretch story. But let me. I'm thinking because we got Allen, you got Mahomes, you have
Yeah,
Burrow,
Lamar. See, like
you
that's the
got
hard part is like
Jackson.
Burrow's kind of been interesting lately. I mean,
Would you?
Baker's playing his ass off right now.
He is. But I would put Love over Baker. I don't think wouldn't put Love over Stafford. I wouldn't put Love over. Ooh, because oh man,
What about Goff?
no, not right now. Dolph is playing really well. He's
Oh, he
playing
is
really
playing
well right
very
now.
well, yes.
He's playing
But
really
you're
well.
saying that you're gonna put him over Baker, and Baker's also playing very well.
He is, but I think Love is playing just a tad bit better than Baker.
I think
Overall,
Love has done well with, like, especially last year, his, like, first, like, starting year, and, like, look at our receivers back then, like, we did not know who these
yeah,
people were going to be. Christian Watson was
yeah,
in and out of being hurt all the
yep,
time. So I think he's done well with, like, what he has, but I do
yeah.
think we have had to rely more heavily on our run game than we have in the past years with our other quarterbacks, which is great because like, Josh Jacobs has stepped up very well, as you were saying. I didn't know how it was gonna be with Aaron Jones leaving. I was really hoping to still have him this year, but no, Josh Jacobs has filled those shoes very well, so, like, that is not a
He's going to
problem.
continue to do that. He's
Oh,
definitely
yeah,
going
and
to
he
continue
will.
for
I
sure.
wasn't sure, like, in comparison of Jones and Jacobs on the, like, if we had to, like, throw the like, he had to catch the ball and run versus, like, the handoff, but he's done fine, so no, I do feel like when we are in need of a big play, it's a run now instead of, like, a pass somewhere. So, like, like, that's what we're thinking is gonna be more reliable.
And the Packers are probably going to be the 5 seed. I mean, let's just call it what it is. I mean, if Detroit's not having that historic season of winning 11 straight games, the Packers will probably be a big time team. So yeah, they're going to probably go on the road and face probably an NFC South team. Whoever wins that division, whoever wins
Yeah.
the West, they'll probably go on the road and face one of them, which is pretty good because the Packers don't have to worry about playing in the cold because none of those or snow. Because none of those teams play in snowy type of weather. So
Mm.
Atlanta and New Orleans play indoors. Tampa and Charlotte play outside, but it's pretty toasty there pretty much most of the year. So,
I do have a
um,
question for you.
yeah, talk to me.
Just because 'cause you're in Minnesota now, so you know how the winters can be, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not fun. Do you feel like I've had this debate with my coworker who's a Vikings fan. Do you feel like they should have an open stadium versus a covered stadium, like, to use the weather to their advantage? Like, or do you feel like they're, like, wussing out by using, like, a roof?
I definitely think they should have a retractable something like what Dallas has, something like what Atlanta can do. Obviously, I came from Atlanta, graduated undergrad from Atlanta, so I know about the Mercedes Benz and how beautiful that is. U.S. Bank should do the same. Yeah, I would like because a
I
lot
feel
of
like
teams,
if you're gonna be a team from the North, like, use it, like, use
right,
it, and, like, what really sent me over the edge is the fake snow they pump through there. I'm like, "Come on."
right,
Like,
right.
just don't have a roof.
We get enough snow to where it don't need to be fake. That's for sure.
No, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. I've seen that Metrodome roof collapse, like
And I'm not a Vikings fan. I'm not gonna like shit on them or nothing like that. But
I
I'm a
will, don't worry.
That's what I'm saying. I was gonna say you're gonna do it for the both of us, which is amazing. I'm cool with that. I'm a Chargers fan because I grew up in San Diego, so I root for the
What do
Chargers.
you think of the game then yesterday?
Oh yeah, that was an interesting game, no question about it. But it's typical because that's the typical games that we play with them. We play
Yeah.
very close. The first game was 17-10 Chiefs. Then it was 19-17 Chiefs. So We have held them to less than 20 points in both of our games.
What did you
Uh,
think? What was your like reaction to the final like field goal?
Oh well, it's typical Chiefs. They win close ass games. They've been doing it all season. They just find ways to win. To me, it wasn't more so about the field goal. It was more so the 3rd and 10 jump pass. We couldn't get off the field when he did the 3rd and 10 jump pass. He jumped and threw the ball 10 yards for a first down. I said, "Holy shit!" Like if we can't get this man on the ground off a freaking blitz, and we can't get him on the ground, we're not going to win the game. And that's what Mahomes does. When you have 15 on your team, it doesn't matter how dynamic your team is or isn't. You have a chance to win the Super Bowl because he's the Michael Jordan of our league.
Yeah,
You
no,
have to knock
definitely.
him out. And only one player has, and that's Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is the only one that's beaten the Mahomes in playoffs. So with that being said, people think Josh Allen, which I said he was going to be MVP this year. I thought he would be MVP because of his subtractions from his team. Losing his top 2 wide receivers, Davis going to
Yeah.
Jacksonville, Diggs going to Houston. Everything's going to be on his shoulders. But these rookie receivers, and they got Amari Cooper in the middle of the season, have really just thrived. I mean, Josh Allen is his MVP to lose. I mean, no question about it.
Hmm.
Plus, he has beaten the Chiefs this year, and I think that this is if any year he's going to beat them, he's going to have to beat them this year for sure.
Yeah,
But yeah,
no, most definitely.
but yes, going back to your point, typical Chiefs to win the game off a doink, a doink for the division is what they called it. I was like, wow, really? I was like, okay, like of all freaking kicks. I mean, but it's like I said, if you don't knock out Mahomes, if you don't kill Mahomes, as any team in the AFC West or in the AFC period, he's gonna kill you. It is what it is. He's going to deliver that blow that
Hmm.
hurts the team and has you walking off sad that you lost. And it's just typical. But I have a funny feeling we're gonna see him again.
Okay.
I have a funny feeling we're gonna see him again for sure. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I like the sound of that. I want to talk to you about the upcoming game as well. Packers again are on a primetime game. If I'm not mistaken, it's a Sunday night game where they got to travel to Seattle to
Yes, the
play those Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Um, every time the Packers seem to go to Seattle, it's some weird kind of instant game that goes on. If you remember, I remember all the way back where Golden Tate, if you remember, they caught. Yeah,
2012 Fail
you remember
Mary. Yes, I
that?
do. That was the start of my hatred of the Seahawks and Golden Tate specifically.
I was like,
Because I
hmm,
think he went to the Lions after that too. So like we saw him again.
yeah,
No, I don't like the Seahawks. I don't hate them, I guess, as much as the others. Um, but so way back to Russell Wilson. So college wise, I'm a Badgers fan. I like the Gophers as well, but I'm picking the Badgers first.
okay,
Russell Wilson, a Badger,
well,
goes to Seattle. And then, of course, yeah, we have that game in 2012. I think it was technically the 2011 season.
yep,
Um, and yeah, like I remember just like yelling at my TV. And then we had to do like assignments for my high school English class using vocab words. And I remember like they said that you could make for extra credit Facebook posts or like something using these words. And I would just slander the Seahawks while using my vocab words for extra credit and like turn that in because and this went on for a while. It has not ended. I still can't stand the fail Mary. Like
oh
it's
wow, that was a fail. That's one moment, and then the other moment was the playoff. Was the 2014
2014
the playoff game?
NFC Championship game.
Without question, that was a collapse of I've ever seen a collapse by a Packers team. No
I
question about it.
remember in when did they start coming back? It was like fourth quarter, like earlier fourth quarter or late third, one of the two.
Mhm.
Um, And I was at like my uncle's house. I remember it so vividly being at my uncle's house. We're watching games. His neighbors come over. They're Vikings fans rooting against us, and I'm constantly already pissed for that because their team wasn't playing in the playoffs.
Right.
And I remember their like first like touchdown to like start kind of getting momentum. I instantly like felt it in my gut
Okay.
before even the onside kick was a thought, and I'm like, we're about to lose this game. Like somehow we're about to lose this, and I don't know like what it was in me, but I just had a bad feeling, and sure enough, through the hands, or no, just like getting in front of, I believe like Jordy Nelson was like right there.
He was.
Yep.
And to me, it seems like the Packers, not just the Seahawks, but the NFC West has just caused a lot
Too
of
much
different
ruckus.
there's a lot of problems. Like obviously with the Seahawks in those two situations, the 49ers in multiple regular season and playoff chances that you guys have had against them. I even remember the 96-point game. That was the playoff game with Arizona. If you remember that, with Kurt Warner. They scored 51 points. The Packers scored 45. It was a back and forth game between them. Talk to me though about this current Packers team, because this is going to be a huge game. Huge game, playoff implications on the line. The Seahawks lead the NFC West.
Mhm.
Again, this is a potential team that can go back to Seattle and play them in the first round. Play them in the first round of the playoffs. Talk
Mhm.
to me about the keys for the Packers to win against the Seattle team that's been surging lately and winning.
Yeah, no, the Seattle team, this should be a pretty interesting game. I think that it scoring wise, I'm thinking it'll be like in the 20s for both teams. I don't think it's going to necessarily be like a giant shootout, but I do think it's going to be a back and forth with a here and there stops. Our defense is going to have to step up their first quarter game for sure. Second quarter, just that first half in general, try and get like a feel of things. And then I think Jacobs is going to be having himself a good game because he's just been so key to us winning. Um, Jordan Love obviously has to stop turning the ball over. And for the love of God, like penalties, we just take ourselves out of the game so many times. And it's like we're a young team and it shows because I'm like, oh my God, like, how are you making these stupid mistakes? I mean, Quay Walker getting like last game, I know he got a little like pissy and stuff, and he's had that happen before where he's going to get a penalty on him or something. So we need to get that under control, like those big personalities. No, I think we just need to come out stronger. Like, stop trying to play from behind. Like, play from ahead, and then keep being ahead. Like, then you don't have to worry if they get a field goal here and there. You're already up
Right.
so much.
I feel that. I do. I think Jacobs is going to be the number one key in my opinion. I
I hope he
also
is. I have him in fantasy, so
well he needs to be, because I definitely think they got to find a way to keep that Seattle offense on the sideline.
definitely,
Um,
yeah.
if they're not extending third downs and converting third downs, it's going to be a long night for the Packers, because I truthfully don't think their defense is going to be able to match up with the receivers of Metcalf, Smith,
Yeah.
Lockett, Fant, and then just with Geno's legs. Now, I I just don't think they play a quarterback quite like Geno and how he moves and moves around. Now, mind you, they play the Packers play golf. They play Darnold, and they play Caleb Williams for the most part. Those are 6 games, but the Packers don't face a mobile quarterback like that,
Mhm.
like a Geno Smith.
And that
So
does, like, definitely worry me as well because I feel like when we do have those mobile quarterbacks, we get a little bit more, like, scattered, I feel, because we're constantly like, "Are we going for him?" Or, like, I feel like we don't blitz very often with that because we don't want to give him that option to just, like, dump it over the top or something.
right, absolutely, I feel that. We came to the portion of the podcast now where I want to do some this or that. So I'm going to throw some things at you, Tori, and you get to choose this or that. So are you ready?
Hopefully, I'm so indecisive.
Okay, listen. You've been terrific so far. So let's rock with it. Here we go. When it comes to chicken places, which chicken place would you rather go to? Popeyes or KFC?
Popeyes, it's not even close.
Girl, you on point like a period right now. I like that. I like that. Okay, we starting off this thing good. Okay, here we go. When it comes to chicken wings, which flavor are you choosing? Barbecue or lemon pepper?
Is the lemon pepper a dry rub or is it a sauce?
Well, that's up to you.
Because I do love a like lemon pepper dry rub. Generally I'm picking like a honey barbecue, I feel like, out of like if I just like had to pick one flavor.
Right.
Um, I have actually exiled chicken wings from my diet for a while. I don't know if you know, but I lost a bet and I had to end up eating 40 chicken wings that like equated to 60 because I lost the bet with my Minnesota Vikings fan coworker. And before the
Wow.
season started, this is like back when we did not know what the Vikings were going to be. The bet was you had to eat the total score combined in chicken wings, and
It was 31-29.
it was 60 points. We
Oh,
got down 21 to nothing in the first quarter, and my husband's like, "Do you even want them to come back at this point? Like, you're just gonna have to eat more." And I was like, "I mean, yeah, but like, we can't let them score more." Yeah. So I have not been eating chicken wings
I'm
since
about to say
that.
you ate them all in one sitting.
40 chicken wings, yeah. I had to eat, like I said, I equated to 60 because I eat 30 like of different flavors and 10 of like one of their spiciest to equate for three apiece.
Okay, I feel you on that. All right, that's wow. That's kudos to you for
It was
doing that.
very uncomfortable. Thank you.
Do you like your wings wet or dry?
Um, honestly, I love like a good like dry rub because I'm a, like if I have my wings bone in, and I'm a
Okay, so you do like them.
flats only.
Okay, so you do like them bone in though.
I do like the bone in,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, I like that. I like that. Okay, so here we go. These next four questions have to do with music concerts you rather attend. So here we go. Which music concert would you rather go to? Kendrick Lamar or Drake?
Kendrick.
Okay, all right. I'm with you, girl. All right. Which music concert would you rather go to? Chris Brown or Usher?
And oh gosh, they're such like good performers and like dancers, I feel like. I feel like when I grew up, I listened more to Chris Brown's music than like Usher because like I like Usher's more upbeat stuff because I like upbeat and like but his like real popular stuff is a lot of like that R&B kind of like slower feel. But like when I'm at
Mhm.
a concert, like I need to like move constantly. Like I can't like relax or I'll fall asleep.
I feel that. So you saying Usher?
I I don't know. I feel like I would let's say like before the whole like Rihanna situation happened, I would pick Chris Brown.
I feel you, but after that, you would pick
After
Usher.
that, I was like, "Oh god, my money to you." I don't know. That kind of seems wrong.
I feel you. I feel you on that. Okay. Which music concert would you rather go see? Would you rather go see Luke Combs or Luke Bryan?
I literally don't listen to country music. I don't know these
Oh,
people.
that's perfect. Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna pivot you, and I got you on here. Which music concert would you rather go see? J. Cole or Lil Wayne?
J. Cole, I think.
You sure?
No, I'm not. But like, I feel like my first instinct was J. Cole, but I was like, but also Lil Wayne. I was like, so much of my middle school. I feel like too.
Yeah, he was. No question about that. Okay, I got you. Last of the music. Which music concert would you rather go to? Would you rather go see SZA or HER?
Um, Probably. I feel like I listen more to SZA's stuff.
Okay,
I feel like
okay.
yeah, I listen more to hers and like, isn't her and like Kendrick pairing up too? If I remember, I saw that.
That is. Yes, they're actually coming here April 19th of next year. I'm planning on going to that. So
There
that's
you
for sure.
go.
No doubt, no doubt. This next question has to do with sports. Which sport would you rather play, badminton or bowling?
Badminton. I'm actually terrible at bowling,
Well, that's okay.
and
You
I'm
know,
actually pretty decent at badminton.
okay, okay. I'll have to keep that in mind because I'm pretty decent myself, Tori. I'm just saying, I'm pretty decent myself. All right, here we go. Which sport would you rather watch on TV? Would you rather watch basketball or softball?
Softball. I
Ooh,
played
okay.
both, but like softball's just so deep in my heart. I feel like I know the game of basketball very well as well. Like I've coached basketball like for like little girls. I played it like basically my whole life growing up. Like
Mhm.
I love basketball. I really do. but like, God, the game of softball is just like so fun. I tell people that don't like baseball because it's slow. It's like try watching softball then. It's quicker, it's less innings, but I do think they need to move the bases back. I think they need to move the fences back a little bit. They need to put some respect on these females. We are training harder. We are getting stronger. We are hitting the ball further. We need to move the fences and bases back.
Yeah, they cracking them balls out there. That's for sure. Shout out to those softball players. I love watching the sport. I fell in love watching the sport, no doubt about it. Which sport would you rather watch on TV? Would you rather watch college football or college basketball?
That's so hard because, like, in general, I'm gonna pick college football, but give me March Madness, like, versus just, like, regular, like, football, and, like, I'm picking March like, I love March Madness.
Absolutely. I fill out my bracket every single year for it to get busted.
Every single year in college, like, because that's what we did growing up, like, my whole family would do a bracket, and in college, when I got there and, like, I had no family there, I had no one there I knew, all my friends, I, like, forced them, I was like, "Everyone's filling out a bracket, we're gonna keep it up." We posted it in my room, I kept track. At my work, I am the person in charge of March Madness. I'm like, "Here's your bracket, have it to me by then," and I, like,
Love
keep
it.
track of points for and I do paper
Oh
brackets,
wow.
like,
You
I am
old school
old
with it.
school with it.
Okay.
Put
Okay.
it you have to and, like, I am a you can only fill out 1 bracket kind of person too, because 'cause I'm like,
Yeah, there's
yeah,
people
if
that
I
fill out
can
like five brackets.
no, because 'cause I'm like, "Oh, yeah, it's easy for you to pick this team when you know that, like, you can pick the other one in another
Right.
bracket, like, of course you do that." No, you get 1 bracket.
With that. Okay. I like that. Do you like dessert story?
I can.
Okay, here we go. I'm gonna throw four categories of desserts at you. You get to choose one of these that you'll never eat again. So here we go.
Okay.
The first one is cookies.
Okay.
The second one is candy. The third one is ice cream. And the last one is cake. Which one are you getting rid of?
So, first thing for sure is I am not getting rid of ice cream or cookies, I like both of those. So now it's
Mm.
between that candy and cake. Does the cake also include, like, cupcakes, or is it just, like, a cake slice?
Cake, pies, all of that included.
And pies?
Yep.
But pi then candy.
Okay. Okay. I'm with
Because,
you on
like, if it was just cake, honestly, and, like, cupcakes, I would have probably kept candy, but when you throw the pies, like, I love pie.
that. Yeah, pie is good now. You can't get enough of pie. I like that. Okay. What's your favorite ice cream?
I, like, don't have favorites. I'm, like, so bad at it. I'm so indecisive. I love, like, different things, like, different flavors all the time. Sometimes I want, like, a fruity strawberry cheesecake. Sometimes I want, like, my chocolate peanut butter. So,
Okay. Okay.
it's, like, whatever the vibe is for the day.
I got you. It differentiates. I'm with you on that. Okay, say less. Do you like potato chips?
Love potato chips.
Same format. I'm gonna throw four brands. You got to get rid of one of these brands. So here we go. First one is Ruffles. The second one is Doritos. The second one is Lay's, or third one is Lay's. The last one is Pringles. Which one are you getting rid of?
I feel like out of those, I'm gonna get rid of Pringles because, I mean, they're good. But, like, when I go head to head, when I think, like, "Okay, Pringles has got an original, so does Lay's." I like the Lay's original more. Pringles has got a sour cream, so does them. I like the Lay's one more. Pringles has the cheddar sour cream, but so does Ruffles, and that Ruffles one is really good.
Oh,
And so, like, I'm gonna get rid of Pringles also because, like, my hand's too big. I got, like, man hands. I can't get that in there all the way down to the bottom. So, like, they're just the way of dispersing it is too difficult.
right, right. I definitely. I'm not even gonna go there with you. I'm gonna let you have that one. But I totally understand. I totally understand as far as sticking the hand into the chip. Sour cream and cheddar Ruffles are my favorite chips,
That's
so I love that.
that's, like, honestly, that's the one that saved Ruffles
Okay,
because it
I'm
was
with you on that.
between the Pringles and Ruffles, but, like, solely based on the sour cream and cheddar Ruffle.
Oh, those are so good. No question about it. I love that. What is some advice that someone has gave you about, being in sports podcasting? And what is some advice that you would give someone, especially females, but any individual? What advice would you give someone about wanting to start a sport podcast?
As for the advice, like, that was given to us, we didn't like, we honestly really, like, learned how to, like, do a lot of it, like, on our own and
Okay.
stuff, and so, like, the advice part is more, I'm gonna say, like, coming from, like, the guests we've talked to, and it's just, like, hearing them so excited that, like, the girls get to, like, have finally, like, their word and stuff because it is not all guys, but, like, there are, like, a good amount of them that are just kind of, like, not really accepting, I guess, of, like, listening to a bunch of girls wanna talk sports. It's always, like, I feel like a fucking pissing contest, sorry, but, like
Sure. No, you're okay. You're okay.
like,
No problem.
between them a lot of times, and, like, they wanna trip us up, and I'm like, "Can't we just, like, also talk sports with you? Like, can't you just, like, have fun with that?"
Right. Right.
So, like, that's one of, like, the best parts is just, like, how happy a lot of, like, the girls we've had on are. As for, like, advice I would give, one, like, you gotta put work in. Like I said, you gotta make your templates, you gotta make sure, like, things are ready, like, it is not easy to just, like, jump in one day and just, like, free ball all of it. Um, so you gotta put in the outside work, the social media, if you really do wanna get, like, seen, so much is done, like, behind the scenes versus just, like, on the screen, for sure.
Without question.
So,
Yep.
like, it would just be more, like, just know, like, what you're getting yourself into.
I like that. I especially like the part where you said you got to know what you're getting yourself into. I like the part where you say that people need to understand that. I think it betters our industry when there's more people talking about it as far as men and women. I love to hear women's perspectives. I love having women on my podcast. I love doing different kind of NFL or NBA or organization specials before the season. I love to have women co-hosts come on and do that with me because I just feel like you need a different perspective, not just from a male side, but a female side. We see things differently. And then we also have different teams that we root for and cheer for. We have different things that we want to talk about. It's really amazing conversation to have. And it really definitely saddens me when you hear of men demeaning and talking about how women shouldn't be talking or no one wants to pay attention and stuff like that. I think that's just bullshit. I love hearing women talk about sports and talk about other different things. Now, I also, let me word this correctly. I also understand that men talk about dumb stuff too. Some men out here I don't want to be listening to talk about sports either. I mean, it is what it is. They talk and they just saying off the wall stuff to try to get clickbait. And this is not a clickbait thing for me. I really talk about analysis of the game, what we think is going to happen with the game, and different things of that nature. And whether you're a man or a woman, if you can talk it, I want to talk with you because it's something that is amazing for our industry. And our industry is only going to grow if we have both genders talking about it, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, and I feel like the more opinions you get, like, the better it is because then, like you said, we all see the game differently. So you're getting, like, both sides of things.
Yep.
Um, so it can, I mean, it's like, that's like anytime you have an argument for anything, you should always know both sides.
Without question. No question on that. Um, we are getting towards the end of the podcast, Tori. So what we're gonna do is do some rapid fire. So I'm gonna throw some things at you, and you just go ahead and you say the first thing that comes up on your mind. Are you with me?
Okay.
All right, let's rock with it. Burgers or tacos?
Oh my God, it depends on the day. uh, oh man. I love okay, I'll go with tacos.
Okay, pancakes or waffles?
Pancakes.
Okay, chicken or ribs?
Oh man, that's really hard too. I'm like so indecisive. I'll go chicken because I can do more with it.
You certainly can. Ain't nothing wrong with that. What's your favorite color?
Greens?
Okay, I kind of figured that one. Favorite TV show?
Um, I'm a big sitcom person, so I'm gonna list a few. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, big fan. How I Met Your Mother is such like a heart like that's like one of my like home shows because I just like remember watching it all the time, like with my family growing up. So those
Mhm.
are like two really big ones. As for like reality, like I'm big, I like Big Brother. I am actually trying to be a contestant on Big Brother. I'm trying to audition for it.
Okay. I hope you get that, Tori. I really do. I hope
I
you get
do
that
too.
audition. That's what's up. I like that. Favorite board game?
Um, let's see. Loved Shoots and Ladders growing up. I remember that one.
Okay,
Uh,
yeah, that's a good one.
that's a
That's a
good
good one.
one. Yeah, I love that one. Candylands. I like now there's like this game called like Code Names. That's kind of fun. The Game of Life was always really fun for me.
Okay, cool. I'm with you on that. Favorite card game?
Um, it's like such a stupid game because like card games, I feel like people explain to me and it's like in one ear and out the other. Like I can't focus that long. But when
Mhm.
I worked at a daycare or like a summer camp, these kids taught me this game called Trash or Garbage. And like,
Oh Lord.
and I love that game.
I was taught that game too, and I'm like, what the hell is this? I'm
Or it's
good.
like, or I'll do like spoons. I'm pretty good at spoons. I have
Okay.
quick reflexes, so I can do that,
Yeah, that game can become pretty deadly too. Pretty physical as well. That game could become that.
especially
That's
with
for
my
sure.
family. We are big competitors.
No doubt. I'll feel you on that. Okay. Spades or dominoes?
Dominoes.
Okay.
Because I don't know how to play spades.
Well, Tori, listen, we're gonna fix that. Listen, next time I come to Kansas City next summer, we're gonna have to fix that.
Is it a
Okay.
card game?
It is a card
It's
game.
gonna be in one ear and right out
But
the other.
but that's a cookout game. You can't come to the cookout unless you know how to play spades and bone. And you
Okay.
know, and you know how the cookout can
I
be.
do I do love the cookouts.
There you go. All right, here we go. If you had three people to take with you on a vacation, plus you equaling four, who would be the three people that you would take, and where would you go?
I wanna go to Italy so bad. Um, but, like, I feel like I would have to have separate answers because, like, one of them, it's like, well, I feel like I gotta say, like, my husband, right? Like, we'll go together.
I
And
mean, you
but
definitely
I'm
don't have
like
to, but it'd be great. It'd be great if you did. Yes.
yeah, but, like, other than that, I'm like, if I'm, like, bringing, like, my people that are my people, they are my girls, Jess, Emily, and Jenna, and they know that. But,
Okay. Cool.
can I pick, like, celebrity? Because then I was like, "Do I gotta pick,
Okay.
like,
You can pick celebrities
celebrities?
too.
Because
Yeah.
like, give me, like, a night with Justin Bieber in anywhere, and I'll be so happy." But that was my first do
Wow.
not give me crap. That was my first, like,
Okay.
celebrity crush growing up. I
I
still love
feel
me
you.
the Biebs.
Okay.
Um He's not like my main celebrity crush right now, but he's still there. He lives in my head rent free.
Okay. All right. Justin Bieber.
Give me
Okay.
the Biebs.
Oh, well, here we go. Favorite alcoholic drink.
Big whiskey Coke person.
Okay,
So I
whiskey
love me
Coke.
my whiskeys.
I love it. I love it. If there was three artists or three songs that you could choose that you would never get tired of listening on repeat, who would those three artists or three songs be?
Justin Bieber.
It better be after that.
Yeah, yeah, right after that, I feel like I have to say Justin.
Right.
Um, like long oh god, that's so hard because like you gotta go genre by genre, I feel, because like I love me my Def Leppard. I could listen to them all the time. I could listen to like Avenged Sevenfold. I've listened to them like my whole entire life.
Okay. That's
Um,
good. That's three right there. That's three right there. Justin Bieber, Def Leppard, and Avenged Sevenfold. I like that. That's a solid group right there. That's very solid. Now, this next question has to do with you. This is also the end of my rapid fire. If they said, Tori, you can only do one of these for the rest of your life, right? Making money off one of these for the rest of your life, would you be a podcaster in sports or would you do physical therapy?
if I had I look at like every question I feel like so like logistical because if I had to pick, I mean podcasting for the rest of my life would be easier. Physical therapy is a job that like you it's very strenuous to like you as well and like mentally demanding.
Yeah.
I love Like, out of, like, those 2 jobs, though, like, I do love my physical therapy one more. Like, I love all the stuff I get to do with, like, all the different people, all the people I get to meet, because I just get to have, like, little conversations all day long. I love to talk. Um, but, like, if I could, like, make good money off podcasts, yeah, I do that. I feel like that'd be easier on me.
Yeah, yeah, bearing no money. If you had one of those to choose, it would be podcast or physical therapy. You saying podcast?
I it'd be good. Yeah, I would, like, have to do, like, several different ones, though. Like, I feel like, though, to get, like, the true feel
Okay,
of,
I'm
like,
with
what
you
I
on
would,
that.
like, want to talk about. Like, I love my sports, but, like, there's so many other things I feel like I could talk about.
Yeah, and that was actually going to be my very next question. If it wasn't sports as a genre that you would talk about, what other genre would you want to talk about?
Um, Something, like, psychological. I was actually thinking of going into, like, some kind of psych job before physical therapy. I
Mhm.
just, like, didn't know where I wanted to go with it, and as I've been, like, really trying to grow on, like, my mental health journey that, like, everyone's trying to go on, right?
Yeah.
I feel like I've learned a lot, and so me and my sister and my 2 friends have actually discussed, like, we could just do a whole, like, trauma dumping podcast. I love trauma dumping. It's so fun and stuff, but, like, it's I would feel like it would be, like, something with, like, the psych, like, relating to that, or just be, like,
Okay.
doing a bunch of, like, stupid stuff that people would, like, allow me to get paid to do, like, I don't know. But
That's different. That's different. No, I love that. I love that answer. It's different, no question about it. But at the same time, it is totally you, Tori. There's no question. I love that. This has been a dope podcast, right? Just learning about your time of putting together this podcast with your co-host Emily. You doing physical therapy at All In there in Kansas City, talking about the Packers, the team that you love. To also talk about the Vikings, the team that you hate, but love talking different football with you and getting to know you as well with the icebreaker questions. Obviously, I'm going to be a new fan of yours. I cannot wait for your next show to drop on Thursday. If there's any way I can put comments into the show and support your show, I certainly will do that because I love when women are talking about sports, people in general, but especially women because we need more women talking about sports. So to me, this has been an incredible time to get to know you and who you are. And I really do appreciate it. And my last question, as it is with every guest on here on my podcast, is there anything else you would like to add about yourself, the podcast, job, or anything at all before we conclude?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, like, thanks for, like, having me on and stuff. Like, this is really fun. I've done, like, a couple, like, kind of podcast interviews and stuff, like, about, like, just people talking about different podcasts, and, like, it is really fun. I always love to meet, like, new people and stuff, for sure. Get in
Dope.
touch, especially, like, on the Twitter sphere. I'm not, like, the great at, like, communicating with everyone all the time, so, like, when I get to, it's, like it's really fun. I like meeting different people. Yeah, the show, like I said, Thursday, 7 PM Central, will be on there. You can follow us on green __gorgeous, like, that's where we're at on Twitter, and you'll be able to find it. Me and Emily will be on there. As for anything else, I mean, yeah, like I said, it was a good time.
I love it. I
Like,
love
I hope you enjoyed it as well. I enjoyed it.
Absolutely. I definitely enjoy it. I think that you are wonderful, talented, uh, and I just think that like I said, I'm a new fan of yours. I cannot wait for your episode to drop because I'm definitely going to tune in on Thursdays now at 7 o'clock. So I want you to enjoy the rest of your Monday evening. Enjoy your day off tomorrow, and you and I would definitely be in touch.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much.